What's up, everyone? It's your girl Rossi, and I'm back with another amazing show. I'm Rossi McCree. I am the host of Rossi's Clubhouse. It's a YouTube channel and a podcast. What I do is I bring the best out of the best from Sacramento. I bring artists on. They could be rappers, comedians, producers, directors. Last week, you guys had the pleasure to meet Nick Anderson at Bright Coast Productions. He's great. He's doing big things here in Sacramento. He has a film coming out in about a year. It's a documentary. It's called The Right to Exist. And it discusses the homelessness here in California and kind of around the country. But first of all, I want to say thank you for your patience, guys. We were supposed to go live at 7. You know, difficulties happen, technical things happens, but we are here. And I have with you Sacramento funny man, comedian, Mark Snipes. Welcome to Mark Snipes, guys. What's up, Mark?
What's up, everybody? Appreciate you having me, Rosie.
I'm so happy having you. Mark, what's my name?
Rosie.
It's Rossi.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay. It's okay. No, let me tell you, my whole life, my teachers, everybody, they call me Rosie because it sounds like it would be Rosie. But no, it's actually Rossi, and that's okay. You won't be the last. They call me Rosie at work. Actually, they call me Rosalinda sometimes at work, so it's kind of funny.
Okay.
But
that fit better though. I like Rossi, Carlos Rossi.
There you go. There you go. There you go. And no, my mother did not have a thing for Carlos Rossi. Actually, my grandfather was Rossi Lee. I am Rossi Lynn. So I want to make that straight. She was not into Gallo wine. All right.
My mom was.
I'm not saying she didn't drink it. I just don't want y'all thinking, damn, her mama liked that so much she named her Rossi. No.
Carlos Rossi. The big jug.
The big jugs. Yes, the big jugs. The big jugs with the little bitty handle.
Yeah, man, come on.
Yes. Yeah, make some of the best sangrias, actually.
I like Rossi better though. The name got a little swag to it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So guys, Sacramento has such an awesome community here. I mean, there's so much talent in Sacramento. I mean, I'll have shows forever with the talent that we have here in Sacramento. And I really appreciate the artists here that come and sit with me and share their talents, their stories, and how they got started. So with you, Mark, I mean, you're pretty big here in Sacramento. And I just want to say, shout out to Affiliato. Affiliato hit me up in my inbox. And you guys know Affiliato. I've interviewed him twice.
Yeah.
Go check out his album, Heavy Foo. All right. You guys can catch that. It's streaming everywhere. It's a dope album. Love Affiliato. He's a big friend of the channel. And he actually has helped me out a lot. But he was telling me that you were responsible for getting them shows at oh gosh, what's the not Harlow's, but Ace of Spades.
Ace. Yeah.
And that you used to be a rapper. Tell me about that first. What's up with that?
Man, yeah, I used to be a rapper back in the day. When I seen Philly, that's when I first kind of really got on you. When I seen Philly, I'm like, oh, you got my boy up here. Actually, that's I went back and kind of peeped the interview a little bit. I seen the clips already, but I peeped the interview just to see what kind of questions, kind of shows you. I was like, okay, we show that's Philly is my boy. But
right,
I started as a rapper. Me and so my best friend and manager at the time, he was like booking shows and he was a promoter or whatever. We were working together, and a lot of the shows we get, like we'd bring Affiliate on. We were like heavy collaborators actually.
Okay.
He was the same person, so me and Affiliate go way back. But yeah, I was rapping a cool minute. I did my thing on the mic. Man, I opened for E40. That's probably my big.
Did you really?
Yeah, my favorite rapper. Yep.
My favorite rapper too. That's my guy. That's my guy. I'm telling you, the Click all day, Bay Area. Yes.
A song called Carlos Rossi. So okay.
Yes, he does. And I was so pleased to hear my name, but mine has an E on it, and in his music. And I love E40. So that's amazing. That's dope.
Yeah. So that was like, my biggest thing I probably did music. I opened for who else I opened for? Um, I Am Sue. I think we all said the Baby Bash. So that was
Really?
my thing around the city. Yeah, yeah, trying to get my shit on.
So
Yep.
what's up, Clint? What's up? So like what got you into like well, first of all, how long did you rap? Like how long was that career?
I probably caught the end of the hyphy movement when I started.
Okay.
Yeah, I caught the end. Every song I had was Going Dumb, Scraper. It was
Okay.
nothing else for the past
Okay.
year. Where I was trying to get out my get it off. I probably stopped rapping probably 2015, 20 yeah, about 2015. Yeah, start.
Why?
What's that?
Why?
I caught that. I had that comedy bug in me. Like I always
Just
wanted. Oh, go ahead. You saying something?
no, go ahead, please.
Oh,
Go
I
ahead.
I
Go ahead.
I had that comedy bug in me, and I was like, man, if I and I was like afraid to do stand up for a while. So I was just kind of putting it off. The music was going good, but I was getting older. I'm like, man, I'm gonna do this shit. I gotta really do this shit, and I did it and followed through with it. I started kind of hosting shows first, and it just took off from there. And and I didn't want to be a comedian rapper. Like,
Okay.
I,
Okay. No. You don't want to be Eddie Murphy?
yeah, exactly.
I mean, that song was dope. That song was dope he did. You have to admit.
Oh, party all the time.
Party all the
Oh
time.
yeah, that's because of Rick though. Yeah,
Party all the
Rick,
time.
that was because of Rick. Rick should have kept on for himself. Eddie was off key like a motherfucker. Can I cut? I'm
Dude, I remember when it came out. I remember we was all crowded around the TV, couldn't wait for that to premiere. And you're right. You're right. He had some help. Wasn't that his cousin,
Rick James.
Rick James?
I don't think so. I think that was just this little partner he run around with.
Okay. Okay.
He was working with,
Okay.
at one point, but I heard a story that Prince used to like stare at him in the studio and was just like different. Start messing with Rick James or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he started messing with Rick. But yeah, I didn't want to be a comedian rap. Singing is not as bad. Like comedian sing, yeah,
Okay.
it's not as bad, but just I don't know, just comedian rapper just ain't. It just ain't.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
right for me. And then and I figured too, it's like if I'm gonna do both, one's gonna take the back seat anyway. Like
Right.
how are you
Right.
gonna go? I'm gonna do a show tonight. I'm gonna go to
Right.
the studio tomorrow. You really gonna like, am I gonna write rhymes?
Right.
Am I gonna do comedy? Like, you know what I mean? It's just, so I just had to pick one and I went with it. And how I even got into it, my manager, shout out to David Crosby. He was managed me in music and we were throwing shows at Last Unlimited. We're throwing hip hop shows there.
Okay.
So we kind of kicked off the hip hop there. And they were doing like open mics and stuff. So we're around it and we're doing the hip hop shows and stuff. And he kept telling me like, man, you gotta try comedy, bro. You're hilarious, bro. I think that's your way out, bro. Like you can rap, but that shit, bro, I think you could really go far with that. That ain't really
Right.
what you want to hear from your music, man. Like motherfucker,
Right. No. Right. It's like, what are you saying about my music then?
yeah, what they trying to say? You supposed to be encouraged.
Right.
Go this way, shit.
Right.
No, but he was just like, but that's that, bro. That's your way, bro. You know what I mean? That's your way. It's like I guess think of like Will Smith in acting. I guess not to compare myself to Will Smith in any regard, but just like whenever you just I'm just gonna keep rapping.
Right. Right. Right.
And what he was it turned out to be. You know what I mean? Like so, I it kind of kicked off from there.
What's up, Joanne? Thanks for joining us. I think it's fascinating that like you were successful. I mean, as a rapper, if you're doing shows like that, you're opening for E40. At that point, you're
Yeah.
successful. Like you conquered that, And then like with you in comedy, it's like you're conquering comedy. You're super funny. So I was scrolling through Mark's page, and if you guys, all his links will be in the description of the video. Okay, so you can go to his Instagram page, and he has content for days, crazy shit. But I have to say that the Tyrone Biggums, I had a clip of that, but I wasn't able to use it here in the studio. I had a clip of that. Did you really go into the grocery store dressed like that?
I went into, okay, so the story of that, it was Halloween. So,
Okay.
yeah, I didn't just, I ain't just throw on some Tyrone Biggin clothes on random Tuesday.
I thought maybe you did because this was hilarious. But go ahead. You got to tell us.
This is Halloween. This is downtown Safeway on, I think S Street, or downtown.
Yep, I know which one.
Okay, we sure, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we going there. I think we're going to like a Halloween party. We're going to get like liquor or something what we was doing or whatever. And this is around the time where I'm kind of doing like little videos and stuff. And I told my partner, I was like, hey, record me. I'm about to go viral. Just record me. And they're like, what? Record me. You know, and I just went up to her and I started, scratching my neck. I was like, you got red balls here? And she didn't know what she think it's like a real item in the grocery store. So she's like, I don't know. I can check them. Like, yeah, I need them right now. Like, it was crazy. It blew up on Facebook. This is before I knew about the video. I didn't have all my stuff yet, so I put it on Facebook and just blew the fuck. I'm like, oh wait, hold on, like I ain't ready. You know what I mean? So it took off from there. So yeah, that's the story of that. So that
was hilarious.
Yeah.
I showed everyone that. I showed everyone at my job that. I showed my husband that. The thing about it is the lips. You got the ashy, dry lips, right? Like the lips when the video freezes and you're just looking at the video and you see the lips. It was so funny. It was really funny. My husband was like, he's asking for red balls and they're trying red balls. He's like, and they're going and looking for it. It was really good. He said, right now, Clint said, he said, dude, that Tyrone bit was fucking hilarious. Effing hilarious. Sorry, guys. Forgive my language. My sister thinks it's freaking hilarious as well. So I want to ask you, when you started your comedy career, what was the first venue like that or place that you started at that you kicked off your comedy career?
So the first venue I had, so we were throwing shows at Last Unlimited. And actually to clarify, when I started comedy for the first time, I didn't just go into comedy. I did it one time.
Okay.
So my manager, he signed me up. Basically, I'm signing you up for like we're gonna go or whatever. And I'm like, all right. And it's just like the day before my birthday, so it's just like a thing now. So I got to do it at this point, right?
Okay.
So the day before the show, I write like 5 minutes or whatever. Can I cuss? I'm gonna be cussing on you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I write some bullshit. I didn't remember what I said, but I wrote like some quick 5 minutes or whatever, and I'm just getting pushed into it. Like it's not. I'm just like whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
I do it. It goes great. Like it goes really good. I'm like, oh shit. You know what I mean? But it probably like what I was saying. If I looked at it now, probably what the fuck was I even talking about? But it went really good, and it was dope. My manager at the time was like, he's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. If you're doing comedy, I think he was basically trying to say, let's go with it, but I put more meat on the bone with the rap. I'm like, this shit popping. Let me just run with this, right now. And so I ran with that for a few years, and then I was like, bro, I made 2, 3, maybe about 4 years later, I was like, I really gotta do this. This really might be my thing,
Right.
And the thing is, everybody named Mama rap. Everybody and their mama rap. Any nigga on the planet raps in some capacity. If you don't rap, your cousin, somebody rap.
Right. Very true.
Overcrowded with comedy. There's a little bit of like singing, like rap, like you can kind of like you can fake it a little bit. You know what I mean? Okay. Singing for the most part, you can sing. You can't sing. You got stuff that can kind of help you out a little bit, but for the most part, it's not as the entry level is not as like rap is.
Right.
And like they got laugh.
Right.
Laughing, ain't gonna be nothing going on. Or you got to get the courage to even get up there and do it. So that kind of scales it back a little bit. So at one point I kind of started doing more hosting kind of slide into it, like
Okay.
stuff like that, and then
Okay.
I went straight into it. What was your question? How to get in it? I didn't remember what your question
No,
was.
it's fine. No, it's fine. So like when you got into it and like you're like, this is what I'm gonna do.
Mm,
Did you, so obviously you did a lot of open mic nights. I
yeah.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
and your material, what kind of comedy do you do?
That's a tough question for me. I do a lot of I do a lot of race stuff, but not like the not the typical like black people there, white people. I'm not.
Yeah, okay,
No,
yeah, right, right. It's like a Family Guy skit.
yeah, so like that. But that's kind of like I like to play with that. Race is something that it makes us all different and separates
Yeah,
us a little bit. We're all the same, but
right.
we're all different, and it's serious, but
Absolutely.
kind of it makes us individuals a little bit. So I like to play with race a lot. I
Okay.
do I do a lot of. I never wanted to do topical stuff that much because the thing with topical stuff is, something will happen. Everybody's gonna have a joke about it, and then it's gonna not
Right.
happen anymore. And then with comedy,
Right.
it takes a lot of like to compose a joke takes a lot of work, a lot of trial
Right.
and error. It takes a long time to build a joke to a certain, spot. So it's
Okay.
like you're building a joke about, you know, Will Smith getting slapped in his career
Right.
falling apart, and you doing it now. He in Bad Boys 4, he going number one. Looks like
Right.
career for, you know what I
Very
mean?
true.
Like, so but I never really wanted to do it, but I was started getting really good at topical stuff. Like I was
Okay.
and I was having like a funny joke, like fast to kick it off, and more
Right.
fast than everyone else is doing, and more funnier than everyone else is doing. So I do a lot of topical stuff too. Kind of how kind of our news kind of came about, where just what I mean. I'm touching on
Right.
stuff that's going on. So that's kind of my style. I do a lot of race stuff, a lot of topical stuff, celebrities, stuff like that.
Okay. And let's talk about RN News.
Okay.
What is RN News and when did you start that segment? And
Uh,
tell them about your podcast a little bit so that they understand.
kind
You
of
know what
what
I mean?
Okay, so RN News is I call RN News for them sensitive motherfuckers out there. And
Okay.
really, yeah, it's called Real Nigga News.
Okay. Right. I figured that, but I wanted you to. Okay.
Oh yeah, okay, we show Instagram and all that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
called Real Nigga News. I started that. That's funny. Same manager friend. I would just like he's white, so I would just text him like with stuff going on or whatever. Like, hey, it's the Real Nigga News. Such and such happened. Bullshit. And then he would do like he would excuse my language, cracker news or whatever. He would, what I
Right.
mean,
Right.
that's kind of how it came about.
Okay.
Then I started doing I got with a group where we're kind of like doing shows and stuff and kind of doing like a lot of comedy stuff. But basically the podcast basically is just me covering news topics,
Nice.
just a lot of people a lot of people, they're talking white people out there. They, you're allowed to watch it. It's not just for real niggas.
Right.
You're allowed to watch our news. I invite everybody, every race. A lot of people think, I gotta be a real nigga to watch it.
Right.
Not
Right.
necessarily. I'm the real nigga. Okay,
Right.
that's
Right.
that's it.
Love it.
Okay, that's it. And I'm gonna give you no matter what I may cover the hoodest of topics, the ratchet of topics, or I may cover Matthew Perry dying. But
Right.
regardless, you're gonna get a real nigga opinion. You know what I mean?
So you guys, you'll be able to check that out. Check out this segment, like RN News. I've watched a lot of them. The skits that you do on there, and just the way that you flip the news to where it's funny.
Um,
It's funny how you covered it. So it's for everyone. So
yeah,
don't think you can't watch it because you won't get it. I promise you'll get a good laugh because
yeah,
comedy is laughter.
hmm
Speaking of comedy being laughter,
yeah,
being about laughter and making people happy,
yeah.
how do you deal with the state of comedy right now or how it was a year or two ago where you just couldn't say certain things anymore? How did that affect your ability to do shows or did it
Uh,
affect you?
um, not like that as much as people make it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Um, to be honest, it's kind of to me it helped me be funnier because I had to find different ways to say things or whatever, there'd be like times where like I would say a joke and people get offended. Like, oh shit.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I would say the same thing. And instead of saying a statement, I'd put a question mark on the statement and it
Okay.
hit funnier. So it made me kind of be funnier with my delivery and a little more clever with how I deliver things, if
Okay.
that's kind of like could be kind of offensive or insulting, I can scope that in a way where I'm still saying the same thing, but I'm delivering,
Right.
and it makes it funnier. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it didn't affect me too much because I mean when I ain't famous and I'm not no Dave Chappelle or nothing where it's like what I mean where see when you're not really when you're upcoming comedian, when you go to a different crowd or whatever, you could kind of go up there and kind of say what you want and act how you want, but you
Okay.
want to laugh. And
Right.
sometimes the crowd, if you come at them a certain way, they can get or come at them too soft, they'd be like,
Okay.
what is this? So you kind of like almost adjust to the room a little bit.
Okay.
They do the same jokes, but I might deliver it different.
Okay.
If it's a crowd of like I in Loda I did like a crowd of like it was like older white women,
Okay.
maybe 60s, 70s,
Okay.
I'm not gonna go up there talking about nigga, nigga, nigga,
Right.
nigga.
Right. Yeah.
Go up there talking about that.
Nuh-uh.
It,
Nuh-uh.
it's gonna, oh my god, they go it just throws them off, you know what I mean? But
Right.
I don't care if you get offended or not, but I still want you to laugh. So if I go up
Right.
do whatever, I'm going up there and bomb. So you know what I
Right.
mean? I think a lot of the cancel culture is like say like a I mentioned earlier, like a Dave Chappelle or somebody that does a they do a comedy show or whatever, and then this is their fan base. So where their fan base, the people are coming to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Before you're at that type of level, you're going to the people. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're book they could book me on a wedding tomorrow or whatever.
Right.
Dave Chappelle or someone, Kevin Hart, whoever, they're gonna be somewhere and people are gonna go to them. They
Right.
know who this person is, their fan base or whatever, what he's gonna bring to you. A lot of times is, he will record it and the video gets out there.
Yeah.
And people that aren't that fit that fan base, that wouldn't fit that room, are seeing it and getting mad and getting offended and getting
Right.
in where the outrage comes from. Like for example, if I do a room, in Oak Park and my set gets recorded and all the old white people see it,
Right.
they might, oh my God, you know what I mean? They might, but, I wasn't in the room with you. I was in the room with them. It's different.
Right.
So it didn't affect me. It didn't affect me too much. Yeah, to me, it made me better. But a lot of people, feel like it affects them or whatever. But then you get those comedians too that are like, I'm gonna say what the fuck I want to say. I don't care. And it's like,
Right.
don't nobody really get canceled no more like that anyway right now at this time. So all
Yeah.
that, freedom fighter stuff, and I'm gonna say what I want to say. It's like it ain't that big a deal. Like, who really getting canceled at this moment?
At this time, I mean, I like back 2020, 19, 20, 20, 21, it was, they like, how many times did they try to cancel Dave Chappelle? So many times they tried to cancel him. And that's just one person that I'm sorry, is as much as you try, you're not getting rid of him. And I think it's a dangerous thing for society to where you comedians are responsible for taking tragedies that happens in the world. For instance, the Trump situation, you know what I mean? Right now it's too soon, but at some point you're going to take that situation because your job is to make us as the country laugh about it, see the joke in it. And that's what I love about comedy. I love to laugh. And I go to comedy shows as many times as I can. I've gone and seen Buddy, perform. I've gone and seen Shelley Booker, or even one of my favorite comedians, Earthquake. I went to see him perform and at the Punchline. And, one thing is when you go see your favorite comedian perform, you're hoping that they're just as funny as they were on HBO or wherever you saw them. And when that man came on stage, you know how some comedians can move a certain way or look a certain way, and it's funny as hell. And that's what I love about Earthquake. He's really funny, and you guys are responsible for that. And how do you feel about that responsibility of making sure that you take whatever tragedy and make us laugh about it?
I love it. Like, for one, to me, the Donald Trump thing is right on time. Like,
We need it. I mean, thank God, but wow.
it's all relative, really, too, right? Like, there was a one comedian, I forgot what his name, Ali Shafir, I think it might have been. I forgot his name, but anyway, he did a Kobe Bryant joke when he first died or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was like ranting about, the Lakers suck, good,
Hmm.
and Kobe Bryant he don't bother nobody. He's always been like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Trump, whether you like him or not,
Yeah.
you could, what I mean? He talk a lot of shit. So
Right.
you could go in on Donald Trump like the first day, like you could, an hour after it happened. You could go in on
Right.
Donald Trump situation. You know what I mean? If it's or even if it's like say a Barack Obama who's like a little bit, you know what I mean? He don't
Protected little.
run his
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
Image is a little different. Maybe you
Yeah.
don't talk about him, but you talk about the situation around
Right.
him. So it's
Okay.
do. But yeah, but just being able to take stuff that happens and make people laugh about it, it's great. You almost sometimes he's like a magician. Like, I'm gonna take this.
Right.
Yeah, you see this here, it's some bullshit. Ain't nothing funny about this here. But watch what
Right.
it's,
I love when you guys do that. I love when you guys take certain tragedies that happened or whatever, and you guys are able to, and like you said, well, let me finish what I was saying first. How you
yeah.
guys are able to take that and make it into something funny to where we can laugh at, and also saying things that we can't say. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like, you get up there and you say things that the average person is thinking, but they're afraid to say it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I love that you guys can say that, because you guys are pretty much speaking on
Mhm.
a lot of things that a lot of people are thinking, but they're
Yeah.
just afraid to say it. They
Yeah.
can't. And I love that about what you're doing. But you did mention
Mhm.
it's not easy to sit down and just come up with a joke. Like, is that work for you? Like, as far as monologues, for instance,
Yeah.
what are the best strategies that you have for memorizing a monologue when you go to the stage? Are you one of those that write down, and you know what I'm saying?
When I before even rapping, I started doing I was doing like theater and stuff. So I was doing
Okay.
acting that one, like
Okay.
all throughout school. So we had to memorize a bunch of just words that just
Okay.
like didn't rhyme nothing or anything. You know what I mean? So I kind of gauged all my stuff from there, and then
Okay.
rapping, I never wrote nothing down when I was writing raps. I just would just
Wow.
yeah, just kind of just memorize it or whatever. I always had a good memory, and then
Okay.
with comedy, I don't really have like a memory problem because like I don't really. It's not so much a script a little bit. You know what I mean? It's
Okay.
more kind of like, okay, I know for the punchline I'm gonna say this. You know what I mean? I know this is
Okay.
a big punchline. I know this is where I'm going to, but how am I gonna get there? I don't really 100% know yet. I'm gonna kind of fill it out or whatever. And you're kind of building the
Okay.
joke. When I'm working on a joke, I'm just trying it so many times, eventually a way kind of just kind of saves in my mind of what I'm doing. And now I did it 8 times already. Now I'm just kind of
Okay.
automatically kind of memorize, goes a certain way of like, okay, like I never wrote this joke down, but I did so many times and played around with it. This is just the way I do it now.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I do it. So it's not really memory because you don't know what's going to happen up there. You know what I mean? You
Right.
might go up there and somebody, you motherfucking, you got to go off script. You got to go off script. You never want to, in a monologue. You know what I mean? You never want to be just stuck to one thing because something happens going to throw you off. You always
Right.
go to the crowd. Some people might say something to you while you're talking. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So you always got to be on your feet like that. So I don't
Right.
really have like a set like memory when you do that too. Because I do have one joke. My first joke I ever did. I do have one joke where I do have it memorized because that's what I was doing in the beginning. But like it makes it stale when you got it like just straight.
Okay.
You want to have a little.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I know this is the punchline, but how am I going to get to it a little bit?
Okay.
Key points, bullet points, basically.
How do you deal, speaking of hecklers,
Mm.
have you had to deal with that, and how do you go about dealing with hecklers?
Uh,
Because people always have to be an ass sometimes. They have to, come to the show and say something. Or how do you deal with that?
hecklers, like, motherfucker, I do this shit all fucking day, and I got the microphone. Like, you know what I mean? I come up here all, crazy dumb shit. I talk about people. I go on a podcast every week and talk about people. And, I do this. I do this all the time. It's, if you feel like you had a little alcohol and your one
Right.
shot, you want to impress your friend, your girlfriend, and yell something out, I'm gonna fuck you up. If you if you really think you can, I will mess you up. Now I ain't gonna say now you gotta get to that point, because in the beginning that I'll throw you off when you never dealt with it before. But I don't get a lot of hecklers, to be honest. And people that
Okay.
never comedy, it doesn't happen as much as you think it does. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Most
Okay.
times people like drunk people, people that
Okay.
interrupting or talking, they're not really against you per se. They're just
Okay.
so you get that a lot. But yeah, you just I do this shit. You know what I mean? We're
Right.
all the time. So like you don't. Like you just feel like you funny right now. You got some liquor, but step up if you want to. Don't run either. That's a trend too.
What'd you say?
Don't run on that damn stage, dude. That's a trend too.
Oh, that I know that is.
Don't
Have
step on.
you had someone run up on the stage?
Now I'm on stage.
Okay.
On stage,
But you've seen it happen.
yeah, you see stuff.
Oh.
Well, more on like TV, online, or whatever.
Okay. Okay.
Never really seen too much in person. Like, people will walk on stage, but like if you set foot on stage, I don't care. You could be my father. On stage, you're a threat. I don't got time to be trying to figure out.
Right.
Stepping on a comedian stage is like breaking into somebody's house. Like
Okay.
that night, and I wake up, you could be my best friend. You could be someone that forgot their
I
key.
love it.
Time you figuring out who you are. I gotta, I ain't got time. Say what get on my stage, man. You get on my stage, I might have to, you know what I mean? Because
Right.
I'm trying to figure out what you want. Please come.
Right.
I don't want to threaten nobody. I'll make y'all probably scared as motherfucker.
He good, y'all. He good. Don't get up on his stage though. Like when you go see Mark, don't get up on his stage. Don't try to impress nobody. Okay, please don't. I don't want to see you go viral on YouTube.
Think about Chris. Chris is like,
You know. My
Slap.
gosh.
Like,
So okay, who are your comedic influences, inspirations yesterday and today?
So of yesterday, that's funny. The one I just mentioned, took a slap to the face. Chris Rock has always been like a big influence of mine.
Right.
He just always had like a different way of just looking at like things like race and just the world.
Yeah.
He's political. He's I don't know. I just always loved Chris Rock. I know he's a quiet,
Right.
but I always loved Chris Rock. Dave Chappelle, obviously.
Right.
Bernie Mac is my favorite comedian, like of all time.
Gosh.
Like he is my absolute favorite.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Bernie Mac
Absolutely.
show comedy. Yeah, he's like I love Bernie Mac.
Right.
Of today, I'm trying to think of today. Well, Dave Chappelle's today.
Yeah.
Like up and coming.
Yeah. Do you know what new comedians? Because I love the YouTube channel. You can Dry Bar. They have a lot of
Yeah.
new comedians or older comedians on Dry Bar. I can't think of any new comedians. Can you think of any new comedians off the top of your head right now? I can't.
I was hoping you threw out some names because I can't think of like anyone.
I can't think of anyone that's.
I'm sure I will on the call ride home. I'll probably think of some.
And I probably will as soon as we get done. I'm gonna be like, damn, I should have mentioned so and so.
so.
Do you like Cat Williams though?
Oh, I didn't mention Cat Williams. Now, when Cat Williams is in his right mind,
yes,
everything is going smooth and coaching.
Yes,
he's one of the best to ever do it.
Absolutely.
He's the best to ever do it. He's hilarious. And for how many specials he had, because I was just watching Cat Williams stuff probably around the time that the interview popped off with, you know what I mean? Which, made me like, well, I'll go back and check out Cat again. Sometimes he dresses like like in similar colors. So a lot of these like famous bits that I would see, I thought it was like one special, and I'm seeing these are all different specials. I'm like, this dude is a
Yes.
underrated, bro.
Yeah,
He's
he's so underrated. I mean,
hilarious.
the first special that he did, I think, was in '09, where he's in the green and he had the Dipset belt on, and he had that was like a
Uh,
really, really, really big one. He brought out Little John. That's the one he brought out, Little John,
yeah,
and that was the first time I've ever seen him, and knew
yeah,
him. And I remember watching that show, and I laughed from the time he got on stage to the time he got off stage, and everything. I mean, everything was just funny. And he's so talented. Like,
and
who would have known he won an Emmy for this? And he's
his Michael Jackson show.
oh my
It,
gosh,
it's
how funny was that?
hilarious. It's funny. I got a Michael joke too. Well, I think all do, but his is just like, man, top tier. So mad. Like that's what that made it so funny. That's
When
what made
he said that,
he,
his son would say, Mr. Jackson. Or the line that he did when he was at the club, and he got shot and he didn't know he died, and he was like, I don't know, Jesus, I was just sitting in my car and now I'm here talking to you. I mean, little jokes like that, and
yeah.
those are jokes that, and of course, everyone, I think everyone imitated every freaking Cat Williams joke from that
Oh yeah,
special.
yeah. He was one. A lot of people forgot. He was one of the ones of that time period. He
Yeah.
was that one. He ran it for a good amount of time.
Yes.
Yeah, I like
Yes.
that. Very intelligent. Like he's actually
Yes.
like probably I'd probably put him in my top. He's in my top three. He's in my
Oh, definitely. I'm with you on that. I'm loyal to Cat Williams. I when I saw him on Shannon Sharp's, I was so happy it was 2 hours, and I probably watched it twice because I can literally listen to him
oh
just talk, and the things that, and he's deep about things,
yeah
and some of the things that he feels we're just not ready to accept.
yeah
And when he finally got invited to Joe Rogan, everybody was wondering, why aren't you having Cat Williams on your show? And when he finally went on there and blew Joe Rogan's mind
yeah
apart,
yeah.
it was just great. So I support him in everything he does, and I think he's just one of the funniest comedians that's out there. Clint was saying Bill Burr from for cynicism, Richard Pryor, Ari Spears are a couple of faves.
Richard Pryor like
Definitely, yeah,
set it off. Like you can't name you can't talk about comedy without Richard. He's just like
absolutely,
that tone. Even like a Eddie Murphy. If you watch like Delirious and stuff, you see
yeah,
Richard and his stand
yes,
and stuff. Like you see it. You got
right,
um Bill Burr is my favorite. I don't like to separate, but my favorite white comedian is Bill Burr.
right. Bill
He,
Burr, come
like,
on.
he's hilarious. I love
He's
Bill.
absolutely hilarious. I mean, the man got a TV show, a cartoon that ended up being funny. He basically did what Bernie Mac did, took a part of his comedy, like Bernie Mac did in the Kings of Comedy, and introduced us to this family,
Yeah,
the brothers' kids. And then, Bernie gets the show, and that show would have been on just as long if he hadn't passed away. That show was not even near done. And I love what Bernie Mac did. But Bernie Mac, someone said about the fact that Bernie Mac was the last one to start, he was the last one to go on the Kings of Comedy,
yeah.
and saying that sometimes, I don't know who told me this, sometimes being the first one
Hmm.
isn't the best. It's the one that closes out the show. And
Yeah.
Bernie Mac closing out the King of Comedy.
Hmm.
Come on. Was he not funny? Was his storytelling not hilarious?
My favorite stand up set of all time. Funny, he didn't actually close. They switched it in the taping to put him.
Did they?
Yeah, because it was just too fire. It was just too lit. Because he wasn't. Steve was the biggest star at that time. Steve.
Right.
Um,
Right.
Cedric was popping from Steve or whatever. But I think I forgot. Well, at one point, I think you watched Cat Williams and he was talking about Steve had to
Oh yeah,
switch spots or whatever.
yeah. When they, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they put Bernie last because he was just killing it. First is hard because when you're first, the crowd is cold. That you got to warm them up, and then you have
Okay,
like I was talking about earlier about what room you're in. Sometimes you don't know what
okay,
you're in. You can't just judge it based off the people. Sometimes, you know what I mean. Sometimes it's good for the first comment to go. You see what they're laughing at, what they're not laughing at. Okay, that joke didn't work, too raw. Or that was too soft. So the comedians that go after them, they already know kind of how I can come at this crowd.
okay.
So yeah, going first is can be really tricky. But yeah, Bernie, yeah, he went last for a reason, or they put him last for a reason. Like
Well, he did great. I remember being excited because I loved every comedian. I loved DL. I think that Steve Harvey is great opening a show. I find Steve Harvey to be very funny.
he
Cedric the Entertainer's been around for years. What was that?
don't give Steve enough credit. I always thought Steve was funny. He won't give enough.
Because the thing about Steve Harvey is that he can go up there and not use one curse word and
Yeah,
just tell. He can talk about his church
yeah,
for a whole 2 hours and
mm,
you're laughing just by him talking about church and the people in the church and the old lady that gets up and starts singing and don't realize that she can't sing and doing that. So he's a great opener. And Cedric the Entertainer, I mean, he's been around. I mean, he's old school as well. So he's been around for a while. I think he's funny.
yeah.
But Bernie came to the stage just as soon as he hits the stage, you're already laughing.
The energy,
Before he says anything, he's getting ready to clown.
he just got it.
And he's absolutely got it. And when he tells the story about the family, the
Yeah,
little boy and the little girl, and them sizing him up and
yeah,
telling the little boy, go do some push-ups or something.
yeah.
We die. I probably watch that skit probably every weekend, have a glass of wine and watch some old Bernie Mac.
That's my favorite set of all time. I love Bernie.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's
Absolutely.
my goat. I love Bernie. You know.
So like where's Mark Snipes going to be? Because you performed. I saw that you did a show in Vegas. Like you
Uh,
perform huge crowds. Like do you tell a lot of do you incorporate like stories from your family? Do you do a lot of that? Is your comedy like a little bit of everything? Do you have those type of stories where
Yeah, I got like a little like some stories from when I first kind of started out that I do. Yeah, I'm more of a ranter. Like I'm more kind of
okay
put a word on it. I'm more kind
okay
of something like or something go and I'll just go off about it. That's kind of like where I kind of that's probably where I would fall in. I think. Yeah.
okay
Mm,
okay
yeah. You
okay
said.
let's see, open mic,
Hmm.
stand up, open mic.
Hmm.
Do you still do a lot of open mic? What do you think about open mic? I mean, is that
Open mics are good, especially when you're just starting out. You want to hit them like before you're when you're just starting, like you're not a lot of times you're not getting booked at all. So
okay?
like a show to you, you know what I mean? So this is like
Okay,
a big deal. Open mics for me, like I do more open mics when like I'm working on some new stuff or whatever.
okay,
I got a show coming up. I'm rusty or whatever. Like
okay,
right now, I've been doing a lot of that's focused on podcasting for the most part. So like
okay,
I may hit open mic, try some new stuff just to get shake the rust off. But yeah, the open mics are great. Like without them, we'd be up there trying new shit and bombing or like because you don't know what it is until you do it. You know what I mean?
right,
It's
right,
funny until you do it.
right.
Yeah.
Is there a favorite venue that you've performed at that you love going there and going back to that venue?
My favorite venue is probably Punchline. Punchline is like I don't. It's just set. It's just set up for comedy. It just they got. I don't know if it's a low ceiling or the high stage, but
Right.
they're ready to laugh. They instantly laugh at anything. You go up there and say anything, you got pickles, and they it's bust out laughing. I love Punchline. Like
I do too. I actually love going to the Punchline. Yeah, you're right. They have everything set up there. I love how the box office is right there.
yeah.
Everything is there, and they do book a lot of good shows. And I can't wait to come and see you perform.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
I'm looking forward to doing that. I definitely will come and watch you perform.
Oh, definitely.
So okay, Mark Snipes in 5 years. Where are you going? Where are we going to see you at?
Man, hopefully alive and uh, uh, I really like to be at 5 years. When I really like to be traveling more.
Yeah.
I really want to grow my podcast. That's kind of what I'm focused on now. Kind of
Right.
same thing you're doing.
Right.
You know, I fell in love with podcasting. Like
Yeah.
it, like what I mean.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and I'll sit there and be like, damn, do you want to hear what I got to say about shit? Like it's
Right. Right.
be, so
Yeah.
that when that kicked off, like I was like, wow, like people actually want to hear what stand
When
up.
did you start though
What's
with your
that?
pod? When did you start podcasting?
I probably started podcasting. So shout out to Shania. Hey, she I started with her. We were doing like a podcast. Maybe a year ago. We are doing like a podcast together, more of an interview podcast. Then I started R News. That might have been like a year. About a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. About the
So
same here. About a year.
oh good.
I feel the same way. I love podcasting. I was acting here in Sacramento, and I did that for some time.
Yeah.
And then I had the pandemic hit, so we're not able to get in on sets, like we
Yeah.
used to. So
Uh-huh.
John, the guy that you just met,
Yeah.
he was the first person to interview me when
Yeah.
he had just the podcast, just the
Uh,
audio.
yeah.
And then he started inviting me on the show, and I didn't know anything about it. I'm like, what's this podcasting thing? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it. He's like, well, let's just start with like your top 10 favorite comedies. Cause I love comedies. I love to laugh. And we did that. And
Yeah.
before you know it, he's like, why don't you come and be a co-host? And
That's
I'm like, great. Cause I'm a fan of all of you guys. That's why I thought it'd be great to switch up and do a Sacramento based podcast
uh-huh.
where I just focus on interviews in all areas of entertainment,
Yeah.
because I've worked with a lot of you guys in SAC, and been on a lot of sets, did extra work, did some lead work, did some work with Buddy, and I loved it. But when I got into podcasting, you know how you're like, okay, I think this is my thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that this is my thing.
Yeah.
And we get our camera time, we get to engage with the audience. It's so much fun, and sky's the limit with it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like your baby.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
No where where it can go, and
Yeah.
I love the stand up, the act of stand up, but just like stand up, you're just in that room, you know what I mean,
Right.
in the room, like.
Right.
But with podcasting, you can be everywhere. Anyone can access you if you wanted
Yes.
to. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it's really addictive. I love podcasting. Like what I mean?
I'm with you. I'm here. I'm with you. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you'd like to talk about or that you'd like to mention? Any shout outs, please?
Well, shoot, shout out to affiliate, man.
Absolutely. Affiliato, we
That's
love you.
yeah, that's my partner. Yeah, I seen him on here. I was like, hell yeah, it's a boy. I'm glad he's still out here doing his thing. He's still out here thugging, man. So
Yes, he is.
I
Shout out to Sac Reacts.
oh yeah, but sure, yeah, I seen that too. Yeah, are they still
Yes.
yes?
That's Affiliato is, y'all can go get a great tattoo done by Affiliato. He's talented there. Seriously, he's talented there. He's a legendary rapper here in Sacramento. He
Yeah.
also has performed for a lot of artists here in Sacramento.
Uh-huh.
And he also has his podcast, Sac Reacts,
Mm-hmm.
which he just started back a few months ago. And this podcast is it's everything. Like he's really doing his thing here in Sacramento. So shout out to you, Affiliato.
Yeah, yeah,
AKA Sat God.
yeah. That's our boy, Am Javis. Yeah, they're my boys.
Right.
Who else I'd shout out? Oh yeah, well, our news, man. Tap in, everybody. Saturdays at 9:30 on my IG live. Follow me at Mark Snipes. Oh, excuse me, at Mark _ Snipes. Tap in, follow me. Tap in, I hit back, let's function, man, but yeah,
You guys will find all of Mark's links will be in the bio of the video. You can hit his Instagram link. That'll take you right to his Instagram, and check out RN News. Like he said, every Saturday.
every Saturday, yep, 9:30. If it's a different day, which shit happen, I'll announce it and everything. But yeah, Saturdays
Okay.
9. I'm just starting to upload everything to YouTube, so I'll get that going soon. But right now it's live, and now
Okay.
Instagram too. So that's there for everybody.
Okay, absolutely. Absolutely. I really appreciate you coming on the show. I'm so happy to have you on. I've been excited about having you on and getting you on here. Just to let you know, you're always welcome back.
Oh,
If
definitely.
there's something that you want to talk about or promote, whatever, just hit me up and we'll schedule a show. And please be a friend of the channel. You guys, this is Mark Snipes, a Sacramento legendary rapper, now comedian, now podcaster for a year, RN News. You can check him out. Funniest guy. And go and check out that Tyrone Big skit and other skits that he's done. Super funny. Do you have any shows coming up that you want to?
I don't think I'm in locally right now. I'm in Chico this Saturday, and then I'm in Nevada City the Saturday after. So I think I'm in
Wow.
now. But I'm
Okay.
moving and shaking.
Okay, and you guys, so you guys can still and you always put that on your Instagram
Yeah.
page where they can. Okay, so you guys can go to his Instagram page and link up to his shows because he's a comedian first and he's building an awesome podcast. So he's doing a lot here in Sacramento. Thank you for your time. Don't leave.
Oh
Stay there.
yeah.
You guys, I appreciate you. Next week I have let's see. Next week, I have 2 more shows left in the month of July. So on the 22nd, I have YGN4L, Youngin, and Mello. They're coming through, and we're going to talk about and discuss their collab album, King Talk. It's a dope album, you guys. Mello's been on the show before. YGN4L's been on the show before. What's up, Youngin? What's up, Mello? I'll see you guys next week. Also, on the 29th, I have Missy Draper. She's also a comedian here in Sacramento. I checked her out. She's super funny. Went to one of her shows. You guys will be able to meet her. And then I have a very special guest. My first show in August 12th, I have BK Dadon. He will be on. And just to let you guys know, so it's a Sacramento-based podcast. Now that we're online, I'm able to reach out to others out in the country, in the world, and have them on. So once a month on Rossi Talks, I will be bringing in an artist from outside of California. So BK's coming through. He's an Atlanta artist. He is lit. He is lit. You guys, I cannot wait to bring him on. And then I have special shows for you guys coming in the rest of August. And a lot of great people are coming through in September. So thank you so much. My name is Rossi McCree, the host of Rossi's Clubhouse. We will talk to you guys soon. I'll see you guys next week at 7 o'clock. Remember, guys, we go live. Sometimes things happen. So, we'll always push the time back, but we will be here on Monday, the 22nd. All right. Thank you guys so much. Mark Snipes, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.